Good morning and welcome to Leo Moon Arts. My name's Fiona and today we're going to make this project using Couture Creations Australian Natural Beauties. Let me have a double check just to make sure. Couture Creations Earthly Delights collection. This is one of their 6x8 pattern books. Some really pretty stuff going on with these today. So today I thought we would make one of these vintage scrapbooks. This is my prototype. Now I've made this out of some, I'm not sure what this colour is. It could be cinnamon. I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look and look this colour up. But I will definitely, it'll definitely be on the blog what colour this one is as well. But basically what I've done for the one that we're going to make together is I've used two different types of 12 by 12s out of our book. So one of them is, let me take this piece off. One of them is this design that's got the brick wall. And the other one that I'm using, let's put that there, is this design. I'll just take this one off so you can have a look. So this will be our main design that we'll see mostly throughout the project, and this will be our back areas. So that's what we've got happening today. I've cut everything out already for mine so that we can make this a little quicker. Please don't get me all confused here today. No, that's that lot. Yes, that's the separate lot. Okay, now I know what I'm doing. So let's start off with the base of what we're going to do first. So I have a piece of base colour, which is our brick wall, and it measures 26 centimetres by 18 centimetres. And I've scored it at 9 centimetres and folded it in half. Okay, so that was the first part of what we needed to do. We've just got this design inside, and we're not going to see a lot of this design inside because we have other things that are going over the top. So I'll just take that one off and I'll pop that there. So that's the first bit we're going to do, and we'll move this over to the side. Now this is our second piece to complete our envelope piece. So to complete this envelope piece and this backing piece, so all this piece, apart from the decoration on it obviously. So our next piece is going to be measuring, this is for the flap, 18 centimetres by 12 centimetres. Okay, so on the long side we're going to put a mark. So I've just, you may not be able to see this here, but I have placed a mark at 9 centimetres, which is right here. So that gives me my centre. And then I've taken my ruler, turned this on its side, and I've measured, what have we got? I think it's 4.5. So 4.5 centimetres down. And I've put a little mark here, which I can see, but I'm not sure whether you will be able to. I'll just try to bring you down a little closer. Make sure I'm in frame. So I've got a little mark here for the 4.5 centimetres. I've got one here at 9 centimetres, and now I'm going to make another one over here for 4.5 centimetres. So let's bring that to the edge there and just make a line here. So I also want to make one from the bottom. Now let me have a look at my paperwork here. I just realised I didn't mark this one. That's not a piece I'm looking for. 2.5. So I'm also going to mark so we've got the point, just so we get this correct and we get this all in the right spot. Am I in frame? I'll just tilt that back this way a little bit so you can see. So I've got 9 centimetres, 4.5 centimetres, and we're going to create a line from the 4.5 centimetres to the 9 centimetres. So it's going to angle that across. We're going to make a line. Doesn't matter, you can actually make a mark with it. It's not going to matter because we're going to cut it off. And we're going to do the same from this side. So 4.5 centimetres over to our 9 centimetres and put that line in. Okay, so we're going to cut those 2 pieces off. Well, I might do that right now. Well, I've got this here. I'm just going to use my craft knife to cut this. Also, I'm not very good with a pair of scissors. Okay, so I'm just going to slice that piece off. So I've got 1 triangle and 2 triangles we're going to slice off. Just move it back just a fraction. There we go. Okay, so that's those 2 pieces. I'm just going to grab my rubber and just take off any excess pencil mark I may have there, because we don't want that marking up the front of our... Well, this will be our front side anyway, I think. Yes, that's our front side. That will be our front side. And so on this edge, on this bottom edge here, I want to mark 2.5 centimetres. So I'm just going to mark 2.5 centimetres here. Take it over. Oops, let's move that. My in frame again. Yep. I'm going to move this over to the 2.5 and mark 2.5 centimetres here. And I'm just going to put my ruler that's still low. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my paper up at that 2.5 centimetre line. I'm going to push it over and I'm going to burnish it down. I might just use that. Just going to burnish that down. Okay, so that is this part all created. So I'll put this one back over here. So that was the first one. This is our second one. Like I said, over on the Couture Creations website, on their blog site, all the directions will be for this and all of the measurements as well. But so we've got our 26 by 18 base, which has been folded in half at 9 centimetres. Now we're going to attach the top of our flap to our envelope, and it measures at 18 centimetres by 12 centimetres. We have found the middle, 4.5 centimetres down from on each side, and then brought it back to the middle and cut out those triangles to create our point. And we've scored our flap at 2.5 centimetres, and we're going to attach that to the back of here. So I'm going to do that now. You can use tape with this project if you want. I'm going to use a bit of glue. I will be using tape as well. I just want a little bit of extra hold, I think, in mine. So I'm going to use tape. So this is Couture Creations all-purpose art glue, art adhesive. I haven't got my bottle sitting here in front of me. Hold on a minute. Yes, I do. Yes, all-purpose art glue. And this stuff is great. It's quick drying. Yeah, it's got a nice strong hold. Actually, most of their glues are pretty good. I have not had any complaints so far about any of their glues. This one is probably the one that I use the absolute most, and the second one would be the quick dry adhesive is the other one that I use a lot of. So I'm going to just grab this. Now I don't want it to go right up to the fold line, because I do want it to be able to close comfortably. And remember, we're going to have this page come over. It's a little close. Okay, so we want that to be able to close comfortably. So we don't want it right on the fold line. You want to bring it back down just a little bit away from there. Yep, that's better. Okay, so that's our envelope part created. So when we go to do the rest of this, I'm going to refer to this as the right side and this is the left side, inside, right side insert, left side inserts. And this will be just the flap and this will be the base. Okay, just so that we've got that all sorted, because this is a little bit tricky at some Well, it's not really, it's just that it's the first time that I've made one of these, so I really enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun. So we're going to grab our next piece. So the next step in this, that's not that one, is, where have I got my other piece? Oh yes, no, it is this one. So we're going to start, so this is all for this, for the right, this is our right side insert. This is what we're going to have for the whole of our right side insert. So the first piece we're going to need to have is this piece here, and it measures 9 centimeters down and 28 centimeters across. And we're going to score this at 7 centimeters, 9 centimeters, 11 centimeters, and 13 centimeters, which I have done, which I hope you can see. Might just burnish these down a little bit further. So when we, so basically it's going to have this sort of concertina type effect, which is what we're after. So this is a part where we are going to use, where I am going to use tape. So we want a piece of card, and we want this to be our base colour, which is this brick one. Well, that's what I'm using as my base colour. And it's going to be 9 centimetres by 28 centimetres. And like I said, we're going to score at 7, 9, 11 and 13 centimetres. So every 2 centimetres we're going to do that. And then we're going to burnish those folds and burn them all. So I normally hold this smaller piece, this 7-inch piece towards me, fold it, fold the next one, fold up, fold up, fold up, until I've got them all done. Internal, external, so it's going to go on this side, yes. I've just got to check I'm still very new to doing this type of stuff. So this one, so this is the type of effect you're going to get. So your fingers down. Yeah. So it's a very interactive book, this one. So I'm going to need them on the outside. So I'm going to grab some 1/2-inch score tape, and I'm going to begin by putting it, so we've got this little 7-inch piece here, so I'm going to put my first bit of score tape on it. So this is just a Couture Creations double-sided tape. It's not score tape, it's just double-sided tape, I'm sorry. So I'm going to put it there, and then I'm going to put it on the next fold. So this is the next fold. I'm going to put one on this side. Don't have to be too particular with this part here. Oops. We're going to put one on the next concertina piece. And one on this one as well. Okay, trim that off, and I'm just going to push them down really firmly. And we're not going to take them off just yet because we've got a couple of other things we need to do. So I've got this piece of cardstock which measures 8.3 by 13.5 centimetres, and I've rounded the corners. So this is our 7 centimetre side, and it just folds over. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this and sort of centre it on the inside here. So that's our next step. Try and put these in a row so that you can all see them as we're going through. Still in frame, yep, okay. I'm trying to make sure I stay in frame. I've sort of changed things around a little bit in my room today. Okay, so I'm going to use the all-purpose art glue, Couture Creations all-purpose art glue for this. So to do this project, I have used 6 pieces of 12 by 12 paper. Obviously, I haven't used them all, but well, I've used the best percentage of them. Not one. All of those 6 pieces got cut to make this lovely little scrapbook. And obviously you can put photos in this. I think this is more what this is really designed for, is more to put your photos and things in and your memories in. And with a couple of little spaces to journal about that. So there we go. So now we've got our internal insert in. Oops. That's this one here. And I've rounded the corners. And now we're going to go to our next step, which is putting on our little concertina flaps here. Now let me just read through my notes for 2 seconds, because I've got to remember how to attach my... Okay, yes, done that. Is that one? Yes. Yes. 7 point... yep, we've got 4 pieces of base cardstock, so that's the brick pattern, at 7 centers by 9 centimeters. So these are 7 by 9, these 4. And these ones we're going to attach, well, I'm going to actually attach the other pieces first. And then also we're going to need another 4 pieces, which are the pattern papers that we're using. And they are 6.3 by 8.3, and I've rounded the corners. So these I'm going to I'm just going to pop this aside for a moment. We're going to work with these. So this is a 7.9 centimeter, 7 centimeter by 9 centimeter piece. And we're going to attach these and sort of center them on there. So I'm going to use the Couture Creations all-purpose art glue for this, because it's just got a bit of a stronger hold than double-sided tape for me. Oops. Okay. So, I might like that down that way, I think. So I'm just going to sort of center this on here as best I can. I'm just going to eyeball it. Yep, that's good, pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside, and we're going to do the next 3. So grab this one, same process all the way through. Now I have pre-cut a lot of this just so that this video doesn't go on forever, because it's took me quite a while to cut everything and get it all sorted. And I wanted this to be nice and quick for you guys to have a look at, so you didn't spend all day listening to me. Okay, there's our second one. On to our third. And I'm basically just putting a good amount of this all-purpose glue just around the edges, and then just a bit of a squiggle through the center. Some of you may be wondering why I'm using the little squeegee bottle instead of using it out of the actual bottle that it come in. Mine's starting to get down a little bit now, and I'm finding that my hands don't like the extra pressure I've got to use on the bottle. So this has been great. It was a great thing to do for me, was to put it into these little bottles. It just doesn't mean to say my hands have to work as hard to get it out. So what's everybody else doing on this dreary Queensland day? What's it like in your part of the world? This is videoed on Tuesday. I'm not sure of the date actually. Isn't that terrible? Just let me have a look. Oh, the 4th of July. There you go. Happy 4th of July to all of our US people who celebrate the 4th of July. Hope you're having a great day. Okay, so these are our 4 pieces that we're going to attach to this. So we've got our base piece, which is 7 centimeters by 9 centimeters. We've got our top piece, which we've put on the top, which is 6.3 by 8.3. And I'm going to start by opening this up. Oh, where's one of my little pokey tools? And I'm going to flick this one off first. And I'm just going to take this and put it on like that. And I'm going to do that all the way along. The tricky part's the next one. I've got to remember which way to put the other one on. Our next piece is on, so that we can get it to move nicely. Okay, get that one. Do this one. And I'm just putting that just before that fold line because I want it to be able to move freely. Just shy of that fold line because we don't want it to get stuck. Okay, there we go. And our last one, we'll go this way. This is our last one. Okay, so basically, just get the piece underneath. I'm just going to go the piece underneath. This will cascade when we have it in our book. Yep, that should work fine. So now I'm going to, let me read my directions again because I'm getting to that part where I'm going to need these two pieces. So this piece is going to be the first one we're going to put on. This is 2.5 centimeters across and 18 centimeters long. Now, okay, turn this over. Let's see what we've got to do. Yes, we've done that. Yep, we must be on the other page. Okay, let me have a look at my other book. So, yep, it's got to go on the bottom. So it goes on that big long one. Okay, I think I know what I'm doing. So if that goes there on there. Just got to remember it's so it goes, yeah, it goes behind there. So this gets attached to this side of our paper, and it's going to have the, so this is our cascade part. So this is going to get attached, and I want the brickwork side to face upwards, so I'm turning that down to face because this is the back side of it. So we're just going to put that in here. I'm actually going to use a bit of tape and a bit of glue on this one. There's my school tape. Okay, get my hokey tool again, open that up. Right. Just put a bit of score tape across the back here. So this is on the back side of the cascade. And that's gonna just pick that off. Oh, please hope I've got this right. There's our cat, yeah, so it's, yeah, it's on that side. So I've got it on the right way, I think. Like I said, I've only done this a couple of times, so this is all new to me. So I'm going to pop that there across the back. Yes, because that's what brings up. Yes, that's right. So that brings us to our next step. Oops, I've got these out of order again now. They're not sticking very well to this mat actually that I've got on here today. Okay, so there's our order of what we've done. So now I have, so this is the 2.5 by 18 centimeter piece, and I've flipped my cascade. So this is our cascade piece. I've flipped it over, and on the bottom on that 7 centimeter piece, I've actually attached this piece of card, and I've now got this 12 centimeter by 17 centimeter piece of card. And now I want to wrap these around the bit of card here, but what I need to do first is I want to just sort of center this over here, see where that's going to sit, and I just want to grab my pencil that's where I want it to sit. I just want to make a little mark. I'm just going to take that mark over the page a bit. Sorry, I'm just going to make that mark. I'm just going to make that mark here and here. And this is only so that when I put my tape on, it's going to be okay. So I'm going to I want to put a piece of tape on from here to here. You don't have to use tape if you don't want to. Probably just a little bit more for ease for me at the moment. I'm not a big tape fan. I do use it, but I prefer glue. I know the glue's going to stick and I know it's going to stay there good and proper. I don't trust the tape quite as well. I'm just trimming that piece off because I've got it a little bit long. So, and I'm going to do the same on this side. Okay, let's bring it up to that line. And now, yep, that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over because this is the way we want it to go. I'm just going to take off those little pencil marks now because I don't need to worry about them. I'm going to center this up over here. And I'm just going to line this up with my edge and just flip these up a little bit just to give them a good, so I know where they're going to crease. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to flip this, so I've got this lined up where I want it on here. I'm going to flip this whole thing over. I'm going to, where did I put it? There it is. So I'm just going to flick this double-sided tape off now. I'm going to fold these over onto there. I'm going to fold this one over onto here. Oops. If I could pick it up, that'd be good. There you go. I'm going to fold that one over there. I might just pop a little bit of glue underneath this one. This one was a bit longer. I didn't center that very well on here. Just so that that stays down. Okay, so now I'm going to take our base piece and so I've put my flap on the right hand side, and so the first insert is going to go onto our right hand side, and it's just got that little bit of tape there, and that's all we're going to use. If you want to use a bit more tape, you can. I have left it like that mainly because I want to tuck a few bits and pieces in behind it. So now if we grab our bottom piece here, it'll cascade. Okay, so that's our first insert done. Now to move on to our second insert. So our second insert is going to contain a pocket and a book. So as I said before, I've cut all these out previously. So this is our top piece for our pocket. It measures 11.5 centimeters by 5 centimeters. Let's pop that there, and we'll do the pocket first. Now I have got a piece of the base colour. It's 7.5 centimeters by 16 centimeters in length. I've scored at 2 centimeters on both sides and the bottom, and then I've just mitered out the corners. So I'm going to actually attach this now. So this piece here, so this is our piece that's going to go on the front of our pocket, just to make it look pretty, because it is a bit easier to put it on now than later. So I'm just using some Couture Creations all-purpose art glue. By all means, if you want to use tape, double-sided tape, go for it. I don't know enough about the tapes. I think that's the problem. Somebody was saying to me there is some really good ones that have got a archival quality and got a really great hold, but I'm not sure what they are. It's going to turn up that way. So I'm just going to put this in between the center, in between the folds and the top and the bottom folds. Let's bring that up a little bit. Down just a smidge. Okay. So the other piece we're going to need for this section is our back piece. So this is the base that's going to go onto the back of, onto the inside of our left-hand side piece. So this piece measures 12 by 17 centimeters. So 12 centimeters by 17 centimeters. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to put tape on 3 sides. Where have I put my tape? There it is. So what we're going to do is I'm going to tape down all the way down this side. Oops. Okay, looks like that's staying there. Can't get that one off without tearing it. That'll be fine. So I'm going to put tape down this side. It's sort of not the greatest. I'll have to flip that over a little bit later. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. And we're having our brick design face upwards. Yep. And then just a little bit down through this bottom section here. And I'm actually going to grab one of my circle punches. Just give me 2 seconds, I've got to grab it before. This is a 2-inch circle punch. And I'm just going to sort of eyeball it in the centre-ish and just cut out a notch, because I would like to use this as a pocket. So now what we're going to do is we're going to place our pocket on where we think it needs to go. 1, 2, and pop the bottom piece up. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our pokey tool or your nails, if you're good with it with your nails. I'm just going to lift this one up part the way. I'll take the bottom one off completely. Let's try this side first, hey? Right, because it's going onto a piece of backing paper, so that's not going to come on. Let's go this way. There we go. I've just pushed it back down. Okay, there we go. So this double-sided tape is a Couture Creations one. It's about a 1/2 inch wide, double-sided tape. Okay, that's sort of rolled that a bit. That'll be fine. Okay, I've just taken that other piece all the way off, but you don't need, I wouldn't recommend doing it that way. I just forgot. I've got a bit ahead of myself there. Okay, so I'm just going to put my bottom piece up. I'm going to fold over both my side pieces. Oh, that one's not right. Come over there. There we go. Pull this other one off. So they're nicely stuck on there. So now we've got a little pocket. I probably should have put a notch in there too. I wonder whether I still can. Here's hoping. Yes. So I've put quite a big notch in that one. Probably a little bit too big, but that's okay. Okay, so now we're going to grab our little folder thing again, and we're going to attach this to the inside of our left-hand side. Just centering that and trying to line it up with the other one. Great. And I'm just burnishing that down a little bit. Okay, so the next part that we're going to look at is to put a pocket, okay, not a pocket, a little booklet on this top section here, and we'll have this pocket here where you can create things and pop into it as well. So what we're going to need is a piece of the pattern paper. This is the natural, I keep forgetting the name of this one, Earthly Delights collection. It's a really pretty set, but I just can't remember the name for the life of me today. Okay, so this is our next step. So we're going to have a piece that measures 21 centimeters by 10 centimeters. We're going to round the corners of our booklet. Now, where's my little rounder? I've got my old one. I don't know what I've done with my Couture Creations one. It's much sharper than this one. So we're just going to round all of our corners for this. And once again, this was 21 centimeters by 10 centimeters. And we're going to measure this because I want 10.5 centimeters. Where are we? 10.5 centimeters. I'm just going to put a little line here. I'm going to sort of cheat a bit. I'm just going to put this. I do have a scoreboard, but I'm just too lazy to get it out today. Okay, I'm just going to push that up there, and that should be our halfway point with our little booklet. Not quite. So just fold it in half, and then didn't get that anywhere near right today. Anyway, that's good. It's got it sorted now. So I'm just going to use this and just burnish that down a little bit so that it sits nice and flat. Okay, so our next step for here is going to be, now you can use, by all means you can use tape to put this on. I'm going to use a bit of glue to glue this down. And I want this whole piece to be glued down. Once again, this is our Earthly Delights collection, and it's really pretty. It's very 70s vibe, I think. I think that's sort of brings back a lot of memories for me. A bit on the old side. Brings back some of my childhood with all the pampas grass and just the colours and stuff. It's pretty cool. Okay, so our next step is this one. So this is 21 by 9 centimeters, scored at 10.5, round the corners, and this is a smooth white cardstock, and we're using this for our insert of our little booklet, so it gives us somewhere to write about any pictures we might pop into here or any other little bits of memorabilia you might have. We're on the homeward stretch. So I'm just going to round these corners. I'm just hoping I haven't made this piece a little bit too big. So basically I'm just going to fold this in half. Now, once again, this is Couture Creations smooth white card. I wanted to use the card because I wanted to keep the sturdiness of this book in case you are putting photos and things in it. But the other reason for it is because I might just have to trim that a little bit. Oh no, that should be right. Yep, no, it's got to be trimmed just a little bit. Might try this at, what side did I have this one at? Yeah, I think I've done this at 10 instead of at 9. So you might want to just trim it up just a little bit. I just need a little bit taken off, and then I'll just fix those corners up. And that should have it fitting in there nicely. Okay. Let's grab my corner rounder again and fix them up. Let's just take it. Wouldn't take that corner off properly for me then. It's a bit of a bugger. I'll do the same on this bottom piece. Same on this one here. Please sit in there properly. Thank you. Okay. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to put this right up against the fold. Make sure put it in place so I know where it's going to sit. And then I'm just going to put glue. You could use tape for this actually. It's only a bit of a writing spot for you to put in here. This would look lovely on your table, just as a little book to go through and see all your memories of places you might have been. Maybe the grandkids have come. I've had my grandkids here over this last week, over the school holidays, which has been a lot of fun. I had one lot come up from Sydney, and my other daughter lives down at not too far from me, and so I went down and picked up one of them for one day, and then I picked up the other two for a couple of days, and yeah. Okay, so now we have our little booklet, but we're not quite finished yet. We've still got a couple more steps to go. Okay, so now we've got our little booklet, we've got a little tuck spot, we've got our cascading folder, and I'm loving these neutral colours. They're really cool. And now it's looking a bit more like an envelope. It's going to fold up nicely. Okay, so the next thing we've got, where is my, it's over here. Okay, let's put my thing back on my pokey tool. Okay, so our next piece that we're going to work on is this piece. This piece measures 8.5 centimeters by 17 centimeters, and we're going to cut this the same as what we did. So we're going to make this peak again, only this time it's going to measure 4.2 centimeters down. So I'm just going to put that in there. 4.2, it's about there, and I'm just going to measure across there. I'm just going to put another mark there. What did I say this one was? 17. Oh, what's half of 17? 12. 14. Oh my God, I've just lost my mind. 8.5. I've already got it written there. So I'm just going to measure that at 8.5, which is there. And we're going to take our trusty ruler again and measure those lines that we've created. Okay, so we've got one triangle off. Do the same with this other one. So once again, this is our piece that measures 8.5 by 17. We're going to mark it at the center at 8.5, and then we're going to mark down 2.5 centimeters on each edge, and we're going to cut that back to the center to create our point. And that should fit beautifully on the inside of our, I'm just going to fill this up, so that should fit beautifully on the inside here and leave a nice border. So you could actually use a bit of tape for this one. I'm just going to use glue because it's easier, and I've got it here right at the moment. So you just need to put a little bit of glue around the edges. I'm just making sure those stress points, like on the edges there, are getting a good amount of glue on them. A little bit through the center. Okay. Now I'm going to flip this over. And we're going to center this. Beautiful. So I've still got a bit of thing on there. Okay, so that's the inside flap of our little folder. I'm really loving this. This is really cool. Okay, so the next piece is our front cover of our folder. So this piece is going to measure 12 centimeters by 17 centimeters, and it is our main feature throughout this piece, and that's going to fit here on the front. And so we'll still have that brick border. Yeah, I'm really liking liking this. I mean, you could go without this piece if you liked that look. I don't mind that look either. And I like the contrast between the two. Or you could put this piece on and not have quite so much contrast. They're both really nice. I'm going to put this one on. I'm just going to use some glue. Same again, just around the edges. If you wanted to, you could leave one of the edges open and put another pocket in the front. There's probably no limit to things you could do. There's probably, you could, I'm just going to, when I finish doing this, I'll show you some other things that I've thought of that you could do with this. Trying not to make this video too long. Okay, that goes that way. And so we're just going to center that on here. Before you put this piece in and before you put that piece on, if you wanted to, you could make this a magnetic closure. So you could put a magnet underneath here and a magnet underneath here, and then flip that down, and that would be a magnetic closure. You could put something pretty on the top of it to disguise the magnet. And something that's more contrast to this. Maybe a bit of gold even would be nice with this. So that's one thought that I've had. And in the original one that I seen this being done, I'll give you the name of the girl too. I did write it down. She didn't use this. She didn't have this as a pocket, but I just thought it's just a handy, maybe to put a nice bookmark in. She didn't put a notch in her pockets at all. I like the notches because then I can see what's actually in there. Now this piece is also is able to lift up, so there's no reason why you couldn't pop a couple of things in behind there as well. I thought even like a couple of nice what do they call them? Like a book, you could do bookmarks. Yeah, you could do like some gift tags or some tags of some sort, especially if you're going to give this to somebody that they might like to use. I mean, these here, you know, you could get a nice photo of your friend or whoever you're going to give it to, and put some photos on this cascading piece. I just love this. I just think it's so cool. Like I said before, you could actually also leave this top piece open and put a notch in here and have it as a pocket on the front of yours. But we do have one more step to go. And where is that piece? I know I cut it. Do I leave it over here? Okay, so we're going to need a piece that's going to measure, let me get to the very end of this. It's 2 centimeters by 29.5 centimeters. I don't know where I put that piece. Have I dropped it? Perhaps. Or maybe I didn't cut one. Okay, give me 2 seconds and I'm just going to have a look. Where did I put my scrap? Oh, here it is. Here's our scrap. So just so you can see, so this was 6 pieces of paper of our 12 by 12 papers. This is all I have left of those 6 pieces. So like, I mean, this is our pattern piece and this is our brick piece. They're 2 different patterns that are in the book. But really nice way to use up our 12 by 12 pads, I thought. Do I have one? Or no, that's not the one. That's not it. Let's have a look at this piece. This piece looks like it'll be the right size, nearly the right size for it. So I'm just going to get my Couture Creations cutter. No, this is not my Couture Creations one. This is my other one. Sorry. So we want this to be approximately 2 centimeters. I mean, you could make this as wide as you wanted to, really. There's no real reason why you couldn't. So I'm just going to chop off this bottom piece. And that should make it just about wide enough for what my purposes are. Okay. Get over there. Okay, so I think this should be about 30 centimeters long. Probably a little bit crooked. They said 29.5, so I'm just going to leave that little bit extra on there. And the reason I'm going to leave that little bit extra on there is because knocked all my notes in out of the way again. Okay, I'll put them all there. So the reason I've left it a bit longer is because when I did this one, I wanted to make sure that as you put things in here, it's going to fill it out a bit. So I wanted it to be able to bulk up a bit. So I just put my finger in either side and just made sure that this would still close with this kind of closure. There is one more thing I'm going to do to this kind of closure when we're done. So basically I'm going to put it around my book and my envelope and just flip it over. I might want to loosen that off just a tad, just leave that quite loose. And I'm going to use a bit of tape for this piece. Okay, I'll just take that off there for the moment. A little piece of tape across. Oh, get on there first. Oh, not that far. Okay, this is going to be right up in your face. I'm sorry about that. Okay, let's just cut that piece off there. Get the little turkey tool. Put this back around my envelope, my vintage scrapbook envelope. Just cross that over there like that. And the reason I've put this piece to the front is because I thought I might like to put a bit of decoration on that front piece as well. So I've got the Earthly Delights collection ephemera pack. What do I want to put on this front piece? Yes, this one, I think. I really quite like this one. I thought it looked really nice on there, so I'm just going to go ahead and put some blue on here. And so that'll hide that join as well. Okay, so I'll just slide that off there now. I thought we might add a couple of bits inside as well. So on the front of this booklet, Adventures Are Forever. I thought this was really nice, but I also like some of these darker ones which had more contrast. So you've got happiness, freedom, let your soul shine. That's a bit big, that one. I could chop it off and put it underneath, but I think I really like this Adventures Are Forever. And what I'm going to do with this, where have I got those? I brought them out with me today. Here we are. We've got some Couture Creations double-sided adhesive foam dots. These are 1 mil thick. So I mean, if you want something want to put something on at a little higher, you'd have to add a couple of them together. But I just thought I'd add 4 onto this. Poke the tool. Maybe I need to put a couple in the centre. I might put just one in the centre as well, just to make sure that that doesn't get pushed down at any stage. So now I've got to take the little backer off. A bit of carrier tape or whatever you like to call them. Yep, there goes our other one. These are really sticky actually, these dots. I like the fact that I don't have to cut them down myself either. You know, sometimes you buy it in the roll and you've got to cut it all down yourself. Okay, let's get rid of all of those little things. Pesky little varmints. Okay, over we go. Adventures Are Forever. So that Do I want to put something more on the front? Where's it? Put that band. Oh, please don't tell me I've made this one too tight. Oh, it shouldn't be. I might have to take my thing apart. I think I've made it too tight. So I'm just going to try and gently take that tape off and move it across a bit further. No, that's not going to allow me to do that. I've actually made this too tight. So now that I've put that other piece in there, it actually won't go over. But if I was to grab this band, which we had on the other one, this one would fit perfectly. So just be a little bit mindful that you need to leave that little bit of room for the band to be able to move comfortably with your piece. So this concludes our demonstration this morning. I hope you've really enjoyed this. If you have, could you please leave me some feedback? I would be really interested to know what you thought. I've been a little bit scatty lately in terms of trying to get myself together, but I am starting to get back on track now. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. I'm hoping to have quite a few more videos out this month. I'm actually doing a bit of a collaboration with, well, not a collaboration, it's, what is her name? Create with Scrimping Mummy. She's got a bit of a challenge going on at the moment for Junk Journal July, so I'm going to participate in that and then put up a few more videos and hopefully get some up most days. But anyway, guys, so I look forward to seeing and hearing from you. If you like this video, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up or a comment, share, that would be awesome as well, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video. Bye.